Welcome. My name is Eve, and thank you so much for joining me here today. For any further information on the sessions that I offer, and they are all up for sale right now, on discounted price, the lectures, I have some meditations that I'm giving out for free as well, and some others that are on sale at this time. All of that information is below. In this video, I am highlighting the full moon in Libra. I'm going over some of the numerology for the month of April and some of the astrological energy specific to a couple planets that are involved here. And I'm going to be bringing in, as we go along, oracle card messages and some tarot as well. I will have those books that I'm using, the oracle card books and the tarot books. They will be listed in the description below, and I will let you know which deck I am using as I am using it. So let's first take a look at the month of April. April is a 4-month in a universal year of 4. We have the double 4, which is 44. There's a very strong message with that. 44 is the number that is often associated with the angels and with the goddess realm as well. So when you're seeing a lot of 44s or 444 or double 44s, just know that the angels and the goddesses are trying to bring messages to you. Yeah, the number 44 specifically is related to divine guidance and divine messages coming in. And as I'm telling you that, I'm getting a visual of Archangel Gabriel and his divine counterpart, Archangel Hope, and that they are working with many of us right now on the earth plane, and they are answering our call. So if there is a specific angel, a group of angels that you would like to call on at this time, Archangel Gabriel, Hope, Michael, Faith, Raphael, Divine Mother Mary, Uriel, and Aurora are some of the very big archangels and divine ascended master energies that are here right now at this time assisting us. This is the only month of this year where we are getting that double 4. And in numerology, the 4 is associated with building and setting foundations. The planet that rules it is Uranus, and it is in Taurus right now. Therefore, the foundations that we are needing to set, or the platforms that we're wanting to build here, we are building it on things that we know are tangible, are productive, that we can set goals on, and that we know are moving forward and are actually bringing in, what's the word I'm looking for? The foundations are actually showing us that yes, this is working if we follow it in this direction. And we're going to be getting this guidance throughout the entire month of April. Now, when we add the 4 and the 4 together from the universal year with the month, we have a number 8. In the tarot, that is the strength card, while the number 4 is the emperor. And in my last couple videos, I've been going on and on about the emperor energy, how very significant it is for this year of 2020. We are becoming the emperor of our own realm, of our own kingdom. It's about you being in charge of your reality and doing it from a conscious, rational, as well as intuitive level. Because the best version of the emperor is someone who is also using his or her intuition alongside his or her logic and intelligence. It's working together here. Now, the strength card is showing us that what the emperor energy is building here is strength, but that strength is coming from the inside out. So you're building your inner strength right now. And for many of us, what we're building right now is our immune system. Think about that. We're building our physical body, our immune system. We're out there looking at improving our nutrition. We're buying more vitamins. We're taking more minerals. We're becoming more and more conscious of what we're ingesting into our bodies. And that is about building our physical well-being. And we're also looking at changing our exercise program or adding more walking into our exercise program, more running. I see many people out where I live running right now, a lot of runners out there. Not people on bicycles so much, because I think that's being kind of not disallowed, but you don't see as much of that right now. But a lot of runners, a lot of people walking. And this is a way of building further equilibrium within the body. So we are building our strength on the physical level, but we are also building it on the mental level and the emotional. This is going across all parts of our being right now. Yep, that's the numerology that we are looking at for the month of April. The two very specific days where there's a very profound astrological event occurring on. I'm going to also look at that numerology. And these 2 days are April 4th, 2020, where we have the first of 3 Pluto-Jupiter conjunctions or alignments in the sign of Capricorn. We are getting 3 this year. The second one will be occurring on June 29th and 30th, and the third one will be on November 11th. The numerology for 444. Now we have 3 4s in a row. Extra messages that we are getting from the universe, from divine intelligence here. If we add all the 4s together, we have the 12, the Hanged Man. Again, back since the month of November, and even November and December of last year, I've been looking at that message of Sagittarius and the Hanged Man, and Neptunian energies involved around it as well. The Hanged Man is asking you to continue to broaden your perspective. Look at the beliefs that are no longer serving you. Look outside the box. All of us have a box somewhere. Find where the parameters to that box are and make the concerted effort to open the door and move outside of that box. Or even better yet, if you're looking at your box as 4 walls, expand it. If it's a small little box, make it a really large box, or even a dome of light. This entire year, I am going to be talking about the idea of perception and perspective, and where we are all learning to broaden how we are seeing things, to look at things from many different angles, especially the angles that we are not used to looking at them from. But part of that also is recognizing and honoring and being respectful that people around us may share a very different belief system than us. And the one message I was given on my birthday this year of March 14th from the divine was something that came straight from Jesus. Whatever you do, do not judge. And we are in the year of judgment. Step back when you are finding yourself judging a situation. Step back when you are finding yourself judging something about yourself. Because the first person always that we must begin the work with is us. It's the I, before we can truly build the we and the us. New perspectives are coming in, and with it, new information as well. That's what I'm being told here. This Jupiter-Pluto conjunction is a very, very significant one. And so I want to pause for a moment, grab my glasses over here, and I pulled from the divination of the ancient decks to talk about this Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. What is the guiding theme here as we're going into it? Because this is first of 3. So there's a very big learning curve that we're going to have here pretty much through November. And the first message I got was feathers. Look at that. And the answer is message. It's about paying attention to the messages that are all around you. Your higher self, your soul group, the divine, your angels, your guides, they're all bringing you messages. Information is around you at all times. All you have to do is open your eyes, open up your mind, listen, ask the right questions is what I'm also getting here. Ask the right questions. The answers will come to you. Whether you need to do more research on the internet, whether you need to reach out to people in a local community or the government or a corporation or the law or the police, whatever situation it is, seek the answers because they are there. You will find them if you ask for them, and you will find them if you do the research. But the other message I'm getting with this is listen. You do not have to ask for help over and over and over again. Stop and start to listen now. The prayer only needs to be spoken or thought in your mind once or twice. It is being heard. If you want to just think it in your mind, that is a vibration. That vibration is going out into the universe. But feathers also means be ready because there are messages coming to you now. And some of them could be feathers dropping from the sky, which is a message from your beautiful divine angels and guides that they have your back. Something beautiful is coming your way. It simply may not have manifested yet. That's all. But it is going on behind the scenes. Let's see if there's any added extra message here. It's a beautiful message. Your prayers are being answered. The answers are all around you. A past loved one, a spirit guide, even an angel. Whatever you are drawn to at this time has a message for you. So the real thing, the real energy you need to be in right now is the listening. And right now, as we are all in lockdown, the universe is helping us in that because we're in lockdown. There's nothing we can do right now but listen, right? Think about that. But it's a deep inner listening that we're talking about here. Watch carefully for nature's delivery of messages to you from the spirit world. And then the other card I got is perception, which is the runes. And I got this in the last YouTube video I did for the new moon, for Aries, for the Aries energy. So we are in the time where we're having to look outside that box because perception is saying perhaps what you perceive is not the whole picture here. Look deeper, expand that box that you're looking at, but more importantly, change the lens that you're looking at this from. And I'm also getting a message about the Wheel of Fortune embedded in this card. Just like we throw the dice or the runes, as we throw them, the outcome can change overnight. So this is a Wheel of Fortune. Change is all around us throughout this month of April. And change can be very swift here in the Aries season. But do change your perception and be very aware if you are looking at something from a place of one-sidedness, because you're never going to get the whole picture there. The way to build a whole picture, just like a very good detective does, you know how they have a big board and they put all the clues on it and then they step back and they look at it? That's the idea of perception. Step back, have detachment so that you can see all of the different messages and the information that you've been receiving and get a much clearer picture of what is happening here. Yes, do not be so quick to judge. See the situation from all angles. There is always a lesson to be learned. And we are in a very, very steep learning curve right now. So these are the messages from the Divination of the Ancients guidebook for this Jupiter-Pluto alignment that we are having right now. And just know that these messages that I pulled here are going to be in effect in the first stage, because there's going to be 3 alignments. So stage 1 is now through June 28th. And then on June 29th and June 30th, we will have the second Jupiter-Pluto alignment. And that's why I wanted to pull messages that are taking us pretty much through the next 3 months here. So these are very overreaching messages here. Let me put that there. Now, the other astrological energy that is happening here before I get to the full moon is we have Mercury completing its cycle through Pisces, which it does on April 10th. It will enter the sign of Aries on April 11th. It's going to be very speedy through the sign of Aries. It'll only be there from April 11th through April 27th. And it's a very big shift that Mercury does when it goes from Pisces to Aries, because in astrology, Pisces is the ending or completion of the astrological season, and Aries is the beginning. So what is Mercury offering us? Mercury is all about our mental thought forms, our communication. It's about how we are moving through the world in terms of our voice, the thought forms we're presenting to the world, the thought forms that are going on inside of our brain right now. It's how we're thinking and how we're communicating those thoughts to others. And with Pisces, it allowed us over 2 months to dive deep into our intuitive body and to raise and broaden and expand upon our intuitive body. So that when we go from a Mercury in Pisces to a Mercury in Aries, because a Mercury in Aries is now very courageous Mercury, it's going to speak its truth. There's nothing that's going to hold you back now. But when it was 2 months in the sign of Pisces, Mercury had to first get clear on what that deep inner truth was. Because Pisces is the last of the water signs, and it's about really knowing how you feel at a very deep, deep level and not denying that to yourself anymore. And now that Mercury's out of the shadow, it just left a couple days ago, about I believe 5 days ago. We are now moving forward. Mercury's clear. It just made the alignment with Neptune yesterday on April 3rd. It's going to complete its journey. You have a much clearer visual now of your emotional body and what is driving it right now, what really matters to you at a very deep soul and heart level. And so when Mercury goes into Aries, you're going to have all of April to act on that inner truth and inner intuitive guidance. So let's look at what the messages from the oracle cards are bringing us here. I wanted to use the Secret Language of Light by Denise Jarvie because I feel like it's such a mercurial energy. And let's look at the cards that I picked here. 2 fell out, which is important. The first one is around what did we learn while we have been in the Mercury in Pisces cycle. To ask our soul. Well, I don't know that I can even expand upon that or expound on it. Ask your soul. We've been getting very deep guidance from our higher self and our inner being right now. But it's remembering to ask your soul, because your soul is going to always tell you the truth. Your mind can take you into your fears, or it can take you into past experiences. Your mind will say, well, but this is what happened in the past. Don't ask your mind. It's time to now ask your soul. And I'm not saying ignore the mind. Take what the mind gives you, because the mind's connected to our ego, and our ego is about our survival. Our ego doesn't really ultimately want to hurt us, but it does want us to survive. However, the ego needs to be the passenger, and the soul is the driver. And so you've got to ask your soul, who's the driving force in your life, what is going on, because it's going to give you a clearer picture here. This is such a beautiful book. If you want to do a lot of inward work on yourself, the two oracle card books I have found work so well for that are The Language of Light, and the other book I'm going to use here, The Hero's Journey. Wise questions create wise answers. Something you have asked for will soon turn up in your life. Every time you request something, you plant a seed in your quantum field or vibrational reality. Again, the message here is you only need to ask it a couple times. Once is usually more than enough. Asking is the first step in any creation. It only needs to be about 10% of the creative process. If we don't see any evidence of our desires coming into existence, we tend to keep asking. This, however, holds us in a place where the answers cannot be heard. What did I just tell you earlier with the feathers message? It's time to listen. Time to listen. Yes, your prayers are being answered in divine timing. And this is where you've got to trust your soul and your divine guides. They know what the timing is. Just have faith and trust that everything is happening in perfect, exact order the way it is meant to. What you desire is on its way to you now. It doesn't matter whether this is out loud or in your mind, because the universe interprets vibrations, not words. So that is what we are learning or bringing with us through the Mercury in Pisces. Now, as we go into Aries, this is the card I pulled, the healing card. We are getting the answer to our prayers. We are getting a healing. What I like about this card, though, is it showing us that the healing that we're getting, though, is coming from the highest levels of our being, not only from our physical body. It's coming from our soul. It's coming from our entire soul group and from Creator itself. There is so much healing energy that is assisting us at this time. It's there. And so when you work on listening more and more, you're going to be feeling that divine guidance around you. And if you need to put on meditation tapes, quiet music that helps you get into the right space to hear, work with crystals, be around your animals, cook, clean, whatever you need to do to open up that listening ability. Healing. Right now, healing is taking place to support your understanding of the gifts that are occurring right now in your life, because there are indeed gifts occurring in what you are experiencing right now. Weird or difficult circumstances can often be a fast track to your desires. But of course, we don't expect it to unfold that way, and that's why we get nervous. But they're letting you know here that you are on the fast track to your dreams and your desires manifesting. Inspired action for healing may include seeing a therapist, consulting a medical professional, or spending time around nature if you can do that. Focusing on what you love is one of the most beautiful ways to bring in healing. All is perfect in every moment, even if we cannot see it at this time. And the other message they want to tell you with this is, be illuminated by love and truth. That when you seek love and when you seek the inner truth within your being, you raise the frequency of your cells. And when we raise the frequencies of our physical cells, we go beyond disease. We can no longer attract viruses. So the more you can build that love light within you, the stronger your energetic force field is going to be, now and in the coming days, weeks, months. Now the last message here is, until we recognize subtle imbalances, the best way to clean up outdated beliefs is to have our buttons pushed. So when we're wanting our truest dreams and desires to come into being, what we often don't recognize is that we are actually standing in the way of that manifesting. And so when we have a pandemic like this moving across the globe, it serves to push all of our buttons, but it's doing so that we recognize where we are out of balance, because that's a button that we don't want to keep pushing. We want to recognize, oh my God, this button is being pushed. It's now time to go inward and seek ways to heal it. And there was another very significant message here for me with this. Every time we are reminded of or talk about a hurt, it pushes a button, and it can reopen a wound that we are yet to heal. Wounds are created by mental, spiritual, or physical trauma, but poking at them will prolong the healing process. That was the message I was seeing. That means that don't keep poking at your wound or at somebody else's. Allow yourself the space and the time to heal, and allow someone else that space as well. Leave the wound alone so that balance can be restored and wholeness return. So if you are ill, what do? You rest and you nurture yourself. You nurture yourself through sleep, through prayer, through positive affirmation, through meditation, through very good nutrition. And in all these things that I'm bringing up here, when you're doing that, you're leaving yourself alone, really, because you're having to go into a very quiet space so that your body can heal. And that is the way any wound heals, is by giving it the sustenance and the love and the medicine, whether it's actual modern medicine or not that you need, but it's also holistic medicine and divine medicine. All of these different forms of medicine are going to help you heal. Okay, beautiful messages. And then the other planet here that went through a change is Mars. Both Mars and Venus entered air signs. Mars entered the sign of Aquarius a couple days ago. It was on March 30th, and it will be in the sign of Aquarius through, I believe, the middle of May. So it's going to be there for about 6 weeks. And then Venus entered Gemini here on April 3rd. It will be retrograding in Gemini from May 13th through June 25th. But it will be in the sign of Gemini for its entirety from April 3rd through August 6th. So right now, the two planets that rule love and relationships are in air signs. And that brings us to the full moon in Libra, another air sign. All the air signs are being highlighted here. The full moon in Libra, Venus in Gemini, and Mars in Aquarius. All of these planets in air signs is about communications, communication in all forms. It's about staying in connection with those that we love and care about. It's about reaching out to people and not staying isolated. So even though you're living by yourself, or you're living in a very small family unit, or perhaps in a larger family unit, reach out to people outside of that. And you can even go outside your front door and do a community thing where you all agree that a certain time of the day you wave at each other. You know, that's a way to build solidarity. And I didn't have this idea till right now. They're showing me that there are so many ways to use communication to reach out. And one, you know, like in Italy where they all come out on their balconies at a certain time every day and they play their music, or people sing and they use their instruments. There's so many ways here that we can stay in communication and that we can build community, because that's what all of this air energy is about. And the full moon in Libra is going to be with us for about 2 weeks, but know that Venus is in Gemini is going to be with us for 4.5 months, and Mars for 6 weeks. So this air energy is a very prolonged number of weeks here where we are building better forms of communication. And what I love about Mars and Aquarius is it's asking us to be innovative with the different ways that we communicate. And with Aquarius as well, use telepathy. Start focusing on sending people you love and care about mental thoughts. That's a beautiful way to build your mind and your mental energy in a very positive and harmonious way. So this full moon in Libra is occurring here on April 7th. It is the second super full moon of this year. We have 3 super full moons. The next one will be in May, and it will be on exactly the same numerological day. This one is April 7th. The one in May will be on May 7th. So we have 2 months in a row, April and May, where the new moons and the full moons are falling on exactly the same day. So the full moons will be on May 7th. The number 7 is a very highly spiritual number. Again, we're getting that message about further expanding our spiritual tools, putting our soul in the driver's seat of our life. I love that analogy. So let's look at this super full moon. By the way, it's the closest of all of the super moons we have this year. And later this year in the fall, September, October, November, we will have 3 super new moons. However, of all of them, this is the closest trajectory of that the moon is going to be in a lunar cycle to the Earth. And on that day, the numerology is the number 6. It's the number of the lovers. So again, it's about communion, community, building love, and it's about sacred love. And at that time, remember, Mercury's getting ready to leave Pisces and enter Aries. So I believe as we move forward through the second and last part of April and go into May, there's going to be a lot of activity happening out there in the world in the realm of relationships and love. Romantic love is what I'm referring to here. Okay, so the only last thing I want to say about this full moon is one of the energies that is being broken through here as we head towards it, and it will be fully enfolded within the energy of the full moon on the 7th and the 8th as well, is whatever addictive patterns or codependencies that you still have that you don't want to break through yet or have not been able to break through yet. In this full moon energy, there is a very huge potential for you to break through, but you're not going to be able to do it alone. You've got to ask for help. And for some of you out there, that does mean AA, and that does mean going to rehab. That means checking yourself in to a place where people are going to be able to help you. So let's pick the cards for this beautiful, super full moon here. And I wanted to pick some romance angel cards. And from my, where is it? There it is. I like to be very planned with stuff like this, and I'm working on being a little bit more spontaneous. So you can see me doing things in front of you where normally I like to keep it behind the scenes. But that's me just feeling a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera, which I'm really not comfortable in front of, by the way. For those of you that think this is effortless for me, it is not. I have to psych myself up for it. Okay, I have to kind of get myself going. So the Psychic Tarot for the Heart by John Holland and the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue. Let's look at the messages that they have here for us for the full moon energy and for Mars in Aquarius and the first part of the Venus cycle in Gemini. Or let's just say the whole Venus cycle. The first message is 2. In this deck, 2 is about balance and harmony, and it's about relationships. The number 2 and 6 are about relationships. But with the 2, it's about relationships of the heart because the moon rules number 2. So again, we're getting that message of following the relationships that are most sacred to our heart. And the sacral chakra is our creative center as well as our romantic center. And then in the physical body, it is the area of our being where we are digesting things. So many of us may be going through some stomach issues at this time. And the organs of elimination, yeah, a lot of us are going to be doing a lot of elimination. That's what I'm being told right now, okay? And also when I think of the number 2, the planet Venus and the sign of Libra is all about harmony. And how can we bring harmony, peaceful resolution into conflict? Libra is very much the mediator. And Libra is also about the ability to see opposing points of views. When I think of Libra, I always get the visual of King Arthur and the Round Table. It's about bringing in equilibrium and equality across the board. On the Round Table, there is no hierarchy there. There is no leader, king or queen. We are all equal on that table. And guess what this pandemic is doing? It is making us all equal, isn't it? So there's the final message of Libra right there. The second card I pulled was simply love. That's the 6 of Cups. It's about accessing our inner child, our playfulness. Because when we access our inner child in our play, it's about just being honest and open. And in that place of enchantment that lives within all of us. Because everyone's inner child is magical. And that's what the child is. It's the magical connection to our divinity. What someone said recently on YouTube I thought was so beautiful about her little baby, who she has a very intimate, connective, telepathic bond with. And when her little baby was crying, she was asking it, why are you crying? What is going on at a deeper level? And her little baby was telling her, it's because all I know is love. So when we come to Earth, when we're born here as a child, the child is in a way looking around going, where am I? What is going on? And if the baby's crying, it's because somehow it's feeling that something is out of harmony here. Because it comes from a place of absolute love. And that's where our inner child lives. And this is a time to recognize that it's simply love. And with the 6 of Cups, it's remembering things from your past that make you happy, that make you smile. It's reaching out to people you haven't been in contact with for a long time, or reaching out to people you've just been meaning to call, friends across the coast or on the other side of the world that you've been wanting to reach out to, but you haven't had time. Well, now's the time. Reach out to those you love the most and spend time with family and friends. Teach, the Hierophant. We are teaching one another right now. We are sharing our book of knowledge. Some of us are literally teaching. We're getting on Zoom videos and Skype and Facebook and other social medias, and we are sending out messages. We are sharing our wisdom, and we are learning all together as a group. The students are the teacher, and the teacher is the student. This is, again, an equal playing field. We all have something to learn here. But this is a card of following your inner wisdom and building upon that inner wisdom. For many, what I'm getting with this as well is you're maybe wanting to take online workshops, or you're picking up books and you're learning things and you're reading up on things. You're becoming more learned at this time, and that is a very, very good thing, because it is broadening your book of knowledge, and you are adding to your book of knowledge. Seek the truth. It is the 7 of air, or the 7 of arrows. Usually in the normal tarot deck, it can be a card of some anxiety going on. It's a card of usually looking for the truth, but not being sure where the truth lies, feeling that you don't know the whole truth here. And I like it in this deck because she is splitting the veil here. She is looking for the truth amidst all of the different beliefs and information that's out there. So you're looking for the truth amidst all the different perspectives that are being placed out in the world at this time. But what I like about this card in particular from this deck is the message is seek the truth by splitting the veil. That means the real truth lies within your soul guidance. You can ask your angels and your guides to lead you to the right newspapers, the right YouTube videos, the right media channels to listen to, and they will do just that. Ask your soul, your higher self, to do that. For some of you, though, I'm getting a message that this is recognizing where around you deception lies, that maybe someone around you is not telling you the truth. Okay, where is deception around you? Is there a lack of trust going on in your business world right now? Is there a lack of trust in your friendships? Or is there a lack of trust at home within a significant relationship? It's time for you to seek the truth, and that is exactly what you are doing here. And the last message I got was reach out. It's the 3 of Pentacles, or Earth. Reach out. This is not a time to be in isolation or alone, and I already mentioned that earlier in this video. What I love in this card as well, though, is if you look closely at all the 4 different hands there, each hand is a different color. They're not all identical. So part of reaching out is reaching out through the diversity of our community and life. We are one earth, and we are one globe, and we are one people. And that is one of the messages here. The 3 of Pentacles is beautiful. The last message with it is about building upon your platform right now, building upon your foundation, and really putting in that hard work at this time. Okay? And I wanted to finish up by bringing in some romance angels, especially since I got the 7 of Swords, or the 7 of air. I wanted some clarification on seeking the truth. And I was feeling like there could be different messages for different people here. So take what resonates for you, because there's different people watching this, and not every message I bring is going to be the right one for everybody. And neither is every YouTube video I put out there going to be that for everyone. Some videos may speak more to you than others, okay? Use your inner guidance here always. Love yourself first. Okay. One of the messages I was getting is if you are not clear on something in your life right now, if you're feeling like you just don't have clarity in your relationship or a relationship with a situation, you have to put yourself first. Don't be putting the other person first right now. And I'm speaking to those of you out there that have a tendency to think of others always before yourself. If you want to know what's really going on, you've got to step back and work on yourself right now. Love yourself first right now. Put your needs front and center and build upon your own self-respect. Okay, so that's a message out there for some of you. And I know you're already doing that. I feel like you're already in that. And this is simply me confirming it for you that yes, thumbs up, you're doing the right thing. And for others, it's about trust. There could be a trust issue here. Or the situation is calling on you to have greater trust and faith. And maybe this is greater trust and faith in a loved one. So we're getting two very different, almost polar opposite messages here. Okay? That for some, the person may not be telling you the whole truth. Or they're more focused on themselves, and you need to also mirror that and focus on yourself. And in this case, though, I'm feeling like someone is asking you to really trust them. Well, if you don't and you're having a hard time doing it, tell them the proof is in the pudding. Ask them to show you what trusting them means. Okay? But you've got to give them something to work with. And this is also about building that deeper faith with this person that you're having this relationship or this discussion with at this time. And this was a very interesting message, past life relationships. What I was getting, and it does fulfill the Six of Cups, is that a relationship from your past is returning to your life. Whether it's within this lifetime, you're reconnecting with people from your past that you have very fond, beautiful memories with, or people that you lost base with, you lost touch with, they're returning. Or if there's any relationships out there in your life that you know are unrequited. And unrequited is not only about love. It can even be a friendship where the bridge was broken and it's unfinished. This is a time to reach out and try to reconnect so that you can bring in a peaceful resolution. Whether it's a peaceful resolution to say goodbye or a peaceful resolution to begin anew. It's important that you do this, okay? And this can also mean that relationships are coming into your life that are very strong past life connections. So this I do feel is about love. And then the very last message I got is it's safe for you to love, okay? Open your heart to give and receive the highest love of all. And I think that's the real answer to the Seven of Arrows, that you want to know that it's safe for you to love. But before you actually jump onto that journey, especially if there's new love coming into your life or new love returning as a new love, you want to know that it's a safe pathway for you to get on. That means you have to ask the right questions, and you have to give that person a guideline for how to build or rebuild this bridge of trust with you again. Okay? But overall, just know that your angels have your back. That's the last message here. And at any time, if you want your angels to help you or your guides, for some of us it's an ascended master. It could be Jesus, Divine Mother Mary. Your guides belong with you, whoever you most resonate with. If you're not unsure of a situation right now or a person in your life, ask your guides to bring you those messages, those feathers of enlightenment. And I promise you they will bring them. But you've got to stop the inner chatter and start to listen so that you can hear the messages coming in and so that you can see the signs that your beloved guides are trying to bring you. Okay? I love you all with all my heart, sending you peace, love, radiant health, infinite abundance to you, your family, your friends, and all of your loved ones, and to planet Earth and all of its inhabitants. Blessings.